Hello everyone, StrangeTemplar here. Welcome back to Sky Factory. Last episode, we got ourselves the very beginnings of an applied energistics network. We now have a 1K drive that is holding most of what comes out of our sieves right now. We do have a little bit of overflow, and I've also thrown in a bunch of random other crap into this chest. But for the most part, everything is going into this one drive. Now, the problem that we have, well, we don't have it quite yet, is once this drive is full, there's not really much we can do. This chest holds exactly one drive. We could make a larger drive. We could make a 4K or a 16K, even a 64K drive if we wanted to. But the limitation here is that this chest will only be able to hold 63 total items. Because if we change out our drives, each chest will only hold one drive, which can hold up to 63 unique items. So what we're going to work on today is making a more robust and easily expandable system. Let me go up and sleep real quick because I don't want it to be too dark. And also, I don't want it to rain in the middle of the night. And the rain is starting to get annoying on the recordings. I'm having to do a lot of editing and stuff to get that a little bit quieter for you guys. And it's still loud. So, what we're going to work on today, like I said, is making a more easily expandable and more robust system. And to do that, we are going to need to make ourselves an ME controller, which uses these Fluix crystals, which is Certus quartz, nether quartz, and redstone. So it's kind of the same as the Fluix dust, which uses the dust versions of everything. So these use the crystal or the quartz formats, not the dust. And then we do need some redstone. And we're going to need 4 of these. And then I believe we're going to need just iron, Fluix dust, and an advanced processor, which is going to require a diamond. But so far, this is the only diamond that we're going to require in our system. And then, where are we going to put this? I want to put it right where the chest is right now. But that's not going to work. Let's put it right there for now. And you'll see it does require power. And it should. Hopefully this thing is going to be able to provide enough power for us. But yeah, it's storing up the energy just fine. And when you right click on it, it'll show everything attached to the system. Which right now there's nothing attached to the system. So it's pretty simple. And you'll see that as we add more and more to this system, the energy use is going to go up. And in the long run, this is going to start to require a lot of energy. So eventually we'll probably have its very own lava system powering it, instead of combining it with the pulverizers and all of those other systems. And you can see we should... Oh, we might be losing power overall. It's hard to tell. Kind of feel like this isn't outputting any power right now. But anyways, we'll figure it out when it becomes an absolute disaster. But you know what we're going to do? Let me grab these transfer pipes. And for now, we're going to transfer it that way. It should still go into the systems. Okay, perfect. So, what we're going to do with this ME controller, you can see it doesn't hold any drives. So I made up another 1K storage. Nothing goes in there. So, what we're going to need to do then is make a ME drive right here. And so that's going to require a couple basic processors, a chest, which we have. We should be able to just, no, we don't want that. We want this. Should be able to just make one. And if we attach that to the system, now we click on our controller, we'll see that we have a ME chest connected to the system, because the chest is connected to the drive, which is connected to the controller. And we also have an ME drive attached to the system. And you can see our energy use has gone up by 0.7 megajoules per tick. So not that bad. If we right click on the drive, we now have 10 spaces for drives. We can just put our drives in there, and it will hold 10 different drives of any size, and that's how we're going to be storing everything from now on. So now if we run out of storage, if we need to add a drive, there's 9 slots in here. So we'll probably start with one case for now. Once we get our resources really up and going, I'm going to start expanding on this sieve system. Probably between this episode and the next, I'll probably have one sieve dedicated to dust, one to gravel, and one to sand, and one to soul sand probably, and just really expand, make a couple more pulverizers, all of that. That's going to happen between episodes because you already know how all that is set up and working. You don't need to see me set it up again. So we now have our drives, but we have no way to access it. If we right-click on our chest, we can still access this one. But if we, right-click on this, there's no way to access directly the information on these drives. So what we're going to need to do is make a way to do that. And to do that, we are going to need to make an ME access terminal, which requires glass, ME cable, and another conversion matrix, which we made yesterday, or last week, or last episode, I guess would be the proper thing. We made the conversion matrix for the chest. So to do that, we're going to need some ME cables, which we don't have any of right now. So let's make a couple of those. Let's make 6 for now, because I know we're going to need a couple more. And an ME access terminal. We need the conversion matrix. We only need 1 for now. And then should be able to make an access terminal. Now, if we attach the access terminal to the system, you'll see that we are now able to access everything in the chest. And if we were to put something in this storage system, let's say, what don't we have in there? Oh, we can't open that right now. Let's put bread in. We don't have bread in the system, right? We shouldn't. And if we throw bread in, you'll see we have bread right here, and it should have gone into this drive right here. Yep, 1 type, which would be bread. And so what we can do is if we... Actually, we're going to need to keep that in the chest for just 1 more second. And but basically, this is the way we can put everything into and pull everything out of the system. Works just fine. You'll see that now we have 3 types. I think the silicon, I don't know what else we can put in our bars, our glass, all of that, and that's going to go directly into the drives. So perfect, just like that. Now the problem is, if we ever want to start crafting, we're going to have to pull it out of the system, go to a crafting table, craft it, put it back into the system. So let's go ahead and break this off real quick. And what we're going to do is, instead of using the access terminal, we're going to make an ME, not a comma E, an ME crafting terminal, which, crafting terminal. Crafting monitor, something a little bit different. We're probably going to get into that next episode. We might have a little bit of time this episode at the end to do it, but I doubt it. So we are going to need a storage cell, a crafting table, and an access terminal, which we just made. So let's go ahead and make the crafting table. The storage cell is right here. We need iron and glass back out. Oops. Throw it in the system, and I got rid of our way to access it. There we go. So let's go in here. ME crafting terminal, like so. And if we attach it back up again, you'll notice we can still access everything, but now there's a crafting menu as well. So we can just, if we wanted to make, for example, some iron ore dust, we could just pull it out of our system, and bam, just like that. So now we have 18 iron ore dust. We can throw it in here, and it'll get smelted, just like so. So, now, the next thing that we want to do, there's a lot to do today. We have our access to the storage. However, this vacuum hopper is not going to put anything into these drives. by default. It will put into the chests because that's the way the chest is designed. But in order to put anything into the system or pull anything out of the system directly, we're going to need to make ourselves an ME interface. Now this interface works, let's see, what are we going to need? We're going to need a couple more systems. ME interface. And you'll notice that actually if you type in here, not only will it show the items in here, but it'll also update your NEI over on this side. So if we ever want to make anything, we can. Was that the interface? Yes. Conversion matrix. And the ME interface. And we are going to need glass like so. And ta-da! There we go. We have an interface. And what we can do then is if we break this right here and we create an interface, you'll notice that if we throw our drives in here, we'll have 63 of 63, and we have 12 of 12. And over time, as this sifts, right now it says 817. If we not click on that, let's go ahead and get this sieving a little bit faster if we can. We were at 817 before, and now we should be at 819. And you'll see that what happens is, if you right click on this interface, it is like an intermediate system. Anything that comes into its anything that is put into it will automatically go into the ME system. So anything that gets brought into this hopper gets pushed into this interface, and the interface will convert everything into the energy and store it on the proper disk. So everything is done automatically with this interface. So it's a pretty slick system. Hoppers will also interface with this. Pretty much anything that pushes items. So the hopper automatically pushes into an inventory. A regular hopper will push into an inventory. These, I don't believe, push. Instead, the transfer node will pull out. So if you were to put a pulverizer next to an interface, nothing would work. You would need to use an item like a transfer node does pulling and pushing. So it gets a little confusing on which systems push, pull, and as you play around with it, you get more used to what works and what doesn't. So the transfer node, if you wanted to connect interface to a pulverizer, you'd want to use a transfer node. There's actually a better system in the ME network, but I don't think we're going to be getting to that today. Actually, you know what? Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and do that. We are going to let's play around with this a little bit, shall we? Let's break up a couple things. And you'll see now that the ME interface, it's not connected to anything anymore. It has nowhere to put anything. So it's going to hold it right here until, if we put our drive back down, and I want to make sure we put the right disk in, you'll see that everything disappears. The ME chest has nowhere to go because this is full of types. There's no room on the drive to store it. So let's go ahead and pull that out. So that's how that works. Now, not everything has to be touching directly. We can use these ME cables. Do we have any more ME cables? No, I think they're on this disk. ME cable, there it goes. So what we can do then is, if we don't want everything to be touching and we want to expand everything a little bit, we can use these ME cables to really expand everything. So what we can do is we can come over here, and if we wanted to, this is just an example, put it right here, and you'll see that everything is still connected. Everything kind of shows power systems, storage systems, and everything will still be connected. Cables transfer power and items. So as long as everything is connected by cables, everything will just work. So let's go ahead and break those. That's not how we wanted that system. Anyways, let's grab that, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to set this up for now, so I am just going to put things in like so, and we'll figure it out later. So now, obviously, the vacuum hopper will be sucking up these items, put it into the interface, and it'll just go. Now, if we wanted to pull items out or push items into devices like the pulverizer, actually, you know what we're going to do? Instead of the pulverizer, we're going to make ourselves a, isn't it? Furnace? Redstone furnace is what it's going to be called, isn't it? Redstone furnace, yeah. So machine frames, we're going to need iron, glass, and gold. Which, if we do this, redstone furnace, like so, we can do we not have any iron? Really? Are we out of glass and oh, this is the one we want. We're out of glass? Really? There's no way we're out of glass. No. Told you we're not out of glass. Okay, make that. So much crafting today. Not glared. Redstone furnace. We're going to need to make a reception coil, which is gold. And you know what? We are going to standard search. That's what we want. Gold and redstone. We don't want these. Redstone like so will make us our reception coil. We're going to need some copper ingots, which I know we don't have yet. And we're going to need bricks. We don't have any clay. Let me grab a little bit of dust here. And we will go make some clay real quick. Dust. That makes clay. Those, get the clay blocks. Throw these into a furnace and make bricks real quick. I wasn't expecting to get to this point today, so I apologize for not having this, and I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. So now we have our bricks, we have our copper ingots, we have everything to make ourselves a redstone furnace. Now, a redstone furnace works just like a regular furnace, but instead of requiring a fuel source like coal or, anything like that, you actually can power it with redstone flux, just like a pulverizer or anything like that. So if we ever wanted to, I don't know, for example, make some charcoal, we can just throw that in here, and using the power of redstone flux, it will cook. Now, what we can do with this is all of these crushed, pulverized, and broken is the other one. All of these things we can make into, for example, gravel or different types of ores, and we can make them into the ores, we can throw them into the smeltery, we can turn them into bars, and it's a fairly manual process. But what we can do instead is create an export bus, and we'll need to do a couple things here. First of all, okay, we do have cobblestone. We will need to make ourselves a piston, like so. We'll need to make ourselves a conversion matrix. We're going to need to make ourselves an interface with the ME cable. Perfect. If we throw these two things in, we should be able to say, make ourselves an export bus. Perfect. Now, again, with the redstone furnace, blue is in, red or orange is out. So if we attach an export bus, like so, to our system, we can say for here, we want to export the tin ore gravel. Now, if we throw this tin ore gravel back into our system, let's find it, tin ore gravel. There's nothing in there now because it all got exported into our redstone furnace. And it's cooking up just like so. And for now, it's just going to stay in our system. But what we can do is, if we say on the back is our output, we can make a import bus. Import bus, which is exactly the same, but instead of a piston, we require a sticky piston. So I made some slime balls here, which come from the chew jellies from our mob trap. And pretty easy. We can just make a regular piston, which we don't have the planks for. There we go. We can make a sticky piston, like so. Thank you. We can make the conversion matrix, like so. We can make the interface, like so. And finally, we should be able to make all of that, except we're out of ME cables. So where is our Fluix dust and our glass? Ooh, we're running low on glass. I'll need to make some more between episodes. So I will make a note of that. Come like so. Perfect. Throw in the ME cable like that, and we have ourselves an ME import bus. Now, how many tin ingots do we have right now? 10. We have no tin ingots, but if we attach it to the out of the furnace, you'll see it comes out back into our system. If we look for tin ingots now, we have 16 of them. So you'll see anytime we want to make tin ore gravel, we can just make it, put it back in our system, and it'll automatically cook it into ingots for us. Obviously, this, as it is right now, isn't the most convenient because we have to manually make the tin gravel. We have to put it back into the system. Next episode, we're going to work on auto crafting, which is going to be able to automatically make these. We're going to work on better export and import buses so that we can export more than one item at a time. We can make these precisions and fuzzy imports and exports. So pretty cool system altogether. Like I said, this is a very small system, easily expandable though. Anytime we want to add more, we can just put in more drives, and it's not going to be an issue whatsoever. So, with that, I think it's time to leave you. Next episode, like I said, we're going to work on auto crafting and really start expanding on this system. I'll probably do a little bit of rearranging. If you can't tell, this is getting cramped again, so I'm going to start expanding out a little bit, make everything look a little bit nicer, a little more streamlined, and a little less convoluted and confusing, hopefully. So with that, I am going to leave you, but as always, don't forget to hit that like and or subscribe button if you haven't already, and I will see you guys next time. But until next time, don't be a stranger. Take care.